Turning once again to the super typhoon and the destruction that it has left behind in the Philippines as the death toll continues to rise. Andrew Stevens has been in a hotel in central Tacloban. He's riding out the storm.
It struck with terrifying and deadly force. The aftermath, Tacloban City's shattered landscape. This was home to thousands. It was not the wind that did it. It was a storm surge. Reports of a 5-metre wall of water that engulfed the coastal strip and spread through the city. Even where the CNN crew was sheltering, about 1 kilometre from the shoreline, the surge was waist-deep and powerful.
All around us you hear the sounds of windows breaking, you hear the sounds of large objects falling and crashing to the floor. And underfoot, it is now just a deluge. And if you look behind me, I don't know if you can see it, the staircase behind me is now basically a waterfall.
But that didn't compare with what happened here.
The storm surge was the most destructive part of this typhoon. We're about 100 metres or so from the water here, and you can see the damage caused. These houses, these were all rough-built houses, completely flattened along the foreshore. Thousands of people live along a stretch of several kilometres, and you can see behind me just how bad it must have been.
Authorities had pleaded with people to leave. Many did, but many stayed. This man was searching for his father, his brothers and his uncle, somewhere, he thinks, under this rubble. We all tried to leave, but it was too late. I got separated when the water started rising. I don't know what happened to them, he tells me. The devastation across the entire city of 200,000 people is widespread. Winds upward of 250 kilometres an hour, leaving a trail of destruction. This is now a city on edge. No power, food and water running out, and medical supplies almost gone. St Paul's Hospital, we're told, is the only functioning medical facility in the city. They can't admit any more patients. There's no room, just first aid in the most difficult of conditions.
We have no more rooms, no more support.
We hardly have anything left to help people with, the doctor tells me. We have to get supplies in immediately. Just a block away from the hospital, the increasingly desperate search for food and water leads to looting.
This is one of the few stores which is left open, and as you can see, the crowds have been forming around these stores, taking anything they can. Food is the priority at the moment, but air conditioning units, plastic toys, everything is coming out of these stores.
Another street away, people are climbing up a lamppost to get to the second floor of a department store to grab anything they can. It took a full day before help arrived. And even though the storm was predicted days in advance, the response so far has not been nearly enough. This was nature at its most frightening, a display of force that has smashed the lives of so many people. And this is just one city. There are countless towns up and down the coast where authorities are still waiting to hear word from.
And we're in the newsroom now with Andrew Rice-Camp from World Renew. First of all, what is your reaction to some of this? I know you've been to the general vicinity of the hardest hit area. What's it like for you to see these images coming out of there?
The images that I saw just, tears your heart out when you see it, Leon. I saw the picture of a coconut tree just kind of snap in half, and many of the homes that are built there especially the rural areas, are made of bamboo. And so you can just imagine the devastation. Well, you can see it, on the pictures.
And you've got some background with disaster relief. When something like this hits, what is the biggest need? What can people do from here to try and help?
Obviously, the biggest need is financial resources. We purchase food items locally, almost in every disaster situation, so that supports the local economy. But it also gives the people in those communities a sense of we're doing something ourselves. So the biggest need for us is often a financial one.
In your experience, do the pictures that we see on television, do they capture it accurately based on what's really going on the ground there?
I think the pictures capture it. You don't have obviously the sense of really being there, the smells, the ability to talk to people. It's when you have relationships and you begin to talk to the people, that's when it really, gets you deeply.
A lot of people, I imagine, must be concerned about their families. It's got to be chaotic there. What's been your experience with kind of the sentiment? Obviously, people needing help themselves and people wondering about people they can't find.
Yeah, that's obviously one of the biggest items of trauma immediately, and finding relatives, even people here, trying to be in connection with people there that they know. I've had the fortunate ability to be on Facebook with some of the people that I know that have been affected by the typhoon, and they're fine. So that's good news.
All right, we're lucky enough to have World Renew here in West Michigan. Talk to me about the response your organization is planning.
A couple of years ago, we actually commissioned a disaster response group out of the Christian Reformed Church in the Philippines. They have their own disaster response unit, so we'll be working alongside of them. We'll also be working alongside of a larger ecumenical church effort in the Philippines called PhilRad. And we, as well as several large international relief and development organizations working together, come alongside of them, pooling our resources with the resources that are already on the ground there. And that's a neat way to support something locally, able to do a lot more then with the resources coming in from the outside, obviously, than they could do on their own.
All right. Andrew Reiskamp with World Renew, thank you for joining us, and thank you for the work you do for the folks that certainly really need it right now.
Thank you very much.
And in the middle of the chaos in the Philippines, a man and woman from Sturgis are missing. Carter Brown and Elsa Thomasma, both of them just graduated from GVSU. They have not been heard from since Thursday before the storm hit. Relatives tell us that the two were living in an apartment together and were getting ready to pack up and leave on Thursday and have not been heard from. Heather Walker just spoke with the family of the missing pair. You will hear what they have to say coming up tonight on 24-Hour News 8. Of course, that's at 10 o'clock on WXSP and here on Wood TV 8 right after the game. We are also posting links to the places that you can go to help if you want to donate or contribute to the disaster relief effort. We have that for you at woodtv.com right now.